Hi everybody, Paul Chek here. People regularly want to have a smoke with me. They say, what's in Paul's bag? What's he doing? I thought he was a health guy. Why is he using tobacco? And all sorts of crazy questions. But, you know, when you don't know what you're doing, then the world can get scary. But if you do, it can get fun. So I thought I would share a bag with all of you. I use basically what is called Northern Shag. It's also called Norwegian Shag from the Peter Stokkeby company. I researched it and found out they do not use chemicals, and I can tell in my body it's super clean. The Shag cuts are cigarette cut tobacco. So it's cut super, super fine, and it is much better when you're using a vaporizer. I use a Volcano vaporizer, which I think is the Rolls Royce. But the finer the cut of the tobacco, the more of the flavor you get out of it. It vaporizes better. You get more surface area, just like the microvilli of your lungs or the villi of the intestine are super tiny, actually 25,000 of them per square millimeter. That's pretty tiny, so they can absorb a lot. So this allows you to absorb the flavor better, and the Norwegian Shag has got the lowest nicotine content of any of the tobaccos I could find. So I put enough in the basket to pretty much fill it to the base where you see the lip for sealing it, where the cap fits in, because I personally like a bit of a denser smoke. I don't like a bag of hot air. I like something with body. So then what I like to do, thanks to Dr. Nick and Andreas at Andreas Seed Oils, is one of my favorite, best tasting smoking oils, which is actually very good for the lungs, is fennel oil. This is Dr. Nick from Essential Oil Wizardry's Sweet Fennel Oil. If you look in the information box below the video, you can get the information to go to Dr. Nick's Essential Oil Wizardry website and get a discount code to help you out. So what I do is I take pieces of plant material. There's a little bud of a rose, there's a piece of rose, sometimes out of my organic herbs from grandfatherspirit.com. I get little twigs or sticks that I stick in there because the essential oils are quite strong. I put 4 drops of sweet fennel, and then I put 4 drops of Andreas seed oil, fennel seed oil, which has more body to it. It's a thicker oil. And I stir the two of them together with a little piece of stick, or I just rub a little bit in there just to kind of get some on the surface so that it's not too overwhelming. You don't want to clog your lungs up with oil. And then I just put a little cap to keep the dust out. I also like to use, especially the kids have had some colds and things from school, so I found myself fighting off whatever they've got. So I love Dr. Nick's, this is Super Immune. He's got one called Krishna Immune that I love very much. This is one of my favorites to use. It's Respire. I'll use some of that. It's got a lovely flavor. All these vaporize real nice. Just put 1 drop of that on there. These do have alcohol in them. So when I put it on the vaporizer, as I'll show, I let it run for a second or two to burn off the alcohol because it evaporates real quick. You don't want a bunch of alcohol in your lungs. And then I just take whatever herbs I'm in the mood for, up, down, calming, mental focus, grounding. Some of them have different herbs. I've got a shaman's blend that's almost kind of like doing marijuana, but there's no marijuana in it. You know, I'm an alchemist, so I'm testing. I got Sarah and Alex Rybczynski's herbs here. They have a whole variety of them that are quite well. Penny can put the information in the show notes. As I spill, I collect the extra stuff here. I also like to use various types of flower essences. For right now, I think I'm going to go with spider because I got to string things together here for some videos I'm about to shoot. So I'll put a couple drops of spider on there. I usually put it on the tobacco, but I got busy talking. This is an amazing mix called Love, made by Marina Oliver, one of our dear friends who is a great gardener and herbologist in the sense of mixing things beautifully. And so I put that on top. And I pack as much as I can get in the basket without pushing the screen out of there. Tobacco tea is quite an experience. So when I connect, I open my heart so I can connect to the spirits. And I just say, would you like to join me in body, mind, and spirit and share love with the world and help make the world a better place for all living beings? And I empty myself and listen. I feel a surge of energy like a, yes, we will contribute to your well-being. And then I turn the vaporizer on. I usually run the temperature around 8.5. With heavier tobaccos, I go up to 9 or 10. But if you run it too hot, it'll just dry the herbs out and it doesn't taste very nice. If it's not cold enough, you don't get enough extraction, so it doesn't taste good. So it's always an experimentation process. Put the basket on, give it a few seconds to burn the alcohol off that tincture. Cap it. Now I've timed it. It's exactly the amount of time it takes me to run to the toilet, have a pee, and get back before the bag's full. It's also the right amount of time to go fill up my teacup, bring it back to my desk, and walk over here at a leisurely pace. It's also the amount of time it takes for me to fill up my teacup, set it over where I do my reading in the morning, uncap all my highlighter pens of different colors, and walk back. And there's probably a few other correlations as well. I always try to be efficient with what I'm doing. That's why things are organized. And we let it fill up. Some people have asked me, aren't you worried about the plastic in the bags? Well, yeah, that's always a concern. If you get cheap knockoff bags, there's Chinese knockoff bags that are not the real Straws and Bickle Volcano company's bags. You can taste the plastic in the smoke. Don't ever use that. This is a much harder plastic. That's why it makes that crinkling sound, so there's less of the chemical leakage from that. Just like with different levels of leakage from plastic bottles, the harder ones are better. But you got to keep yourself in shape. You got to keep yourself healthy. I do regular detoxification. Connect to it. Share some love, and cheers. That's a damn good vaporized smoke. Now there's no smoke in there. That's all water vapor and essential oils. That's the vaporization of the flower essences. It's extracting the moisture out of the herbs and the tobaccos. And it's the essential oils. So guess what? There's no smoke in there at all. No fire, no smoke. It's actually a hopped up food dehydrator, or a popcorn, hot air popcorn popper does the same thing. Just runs hot air through the basket, sucks the moisture out of the herbs. And if you study water, water carries consciousness, has a frequency range of 65 octaves, which is just a massive number. Therefore, when you're bringing that water vapor into your body, you're bringing the spirit, the consciousness, the life force, the intelligence of each of those plants. And that's how it influences you. Of course, you're getting some of the biochemistry of it as well, the molecules of the plant itself, and that chemistry is also in the water. So this is really just a beautiful bag of vaporized oils, flower essences, animal essences, water, and herbs, the essences of the herbs. It's a healthy way to really enjoy yourself. I've shared it with many people that smoke cigarettes, encouraging them to try this instead, and they've always been completely blown away. How beautiful it tastes, how great they feel, and walk out saying, wow, I've got to get me a Volcano and quit smoking. So what a great transition. Hope you enjoyed sharing a smoke with me. Here's one for you. Lots of love.